So here we are at Koval Distillery, the first legal distillery in Chicago, opened since the 1860s, or so they tell us. Let's go inside and see what's going on.
This is Lion. Founded in 2008, we were the first distillery in Chicago for more than 100 years. And we are female-owned, fully independent, family-ran. We use local 150-mile radius organic grains and fruits for all of our products. And they helped a lot of other distilleries open. This is our owner, Sonnet, here. It's seasonal and everything, and maybe it started that way, but it's such a success because people love this as a spritz all year round with Prosecco, with any sparkling water. It's also great with, like, in the fall with apple cider, cran apple, cran orange. It's very flexible, beautiful labels. Yeah, get in there. This laser etched label has won a lot of awards, and speaking of the labeling, it's done by Sonnet's sister Una. The story of bourbon, okay? So bourbon, everyone. The next one we're going to be tasting has a long history with America. A lot of questions with this one. So bourbon is just a type of whiskey, okay? But it does have specific laws to getting the word bourbon on a label. You can't just slap that on a label. So here are some of the laws, and they are acts of Congress, and I'll explain that too, why they're on the books. So the rules are it has to have at least 51% corn in the mash bill. So it has to be a corn-based whiskey. It can have more corn. It can only have water added to it, no flavorings, colorings, or additives of any type. It has to be made in America, in the United States, okay, of America. And it has to be aged in that kind of a barrel, a new white oak charred American barrel. So you're in America a lot. This is a little bit of a pushback to Scotland because these laws were made in the 1860s after the American Civil War. And what happened was moonshiners were up to tricks again. They were taking straight up corn-based moonshine and they were coloring it and calling it bourbon, okay? Not barrel aging it. And the coloring was the problem because it was iodine, turpentine, gasoline, tobacco spit, whatever was around a barn. They're moonshiners in the 1860s, spittoons, and people were dying all over the United States. So more death and reasons why alcohol is called spirits. So the government for the first time had to intervene on a food product. This is one of the first food products that was legislated for protecting people from death. They found out what was going on and made these laws about the word bourbon. Now, you probably can guess this is one that had a big loophole in this law because people suddenly started dying from rye whiskey, which was the other popular American grain outside of Scotch that was being imported over. So people were dying from rye because, yeah, the law was all about the word bourbon. It was the same trick they were doing. They said, fine, we'll call it rye. So they had to do further protections, the Bonded Act to protect all the other whiskeys, right? It was basically all the others, like you need to be a federally bonded, not a moonshiner distillery, and they made some other laws that were with bonded whiskeys too, 100 proof, select grain, select season, select barrels, and so forth. So, as promised, on to lighter topics. So there's always 51% corn, you'll know that, that's what we stick with, but you can have more corn. Corn's a sweet grain. We all know that, sweet corn. So that makes the alcohol a lot higher because of the sugars in corn. So you can have a really masculine, high proof, hair sprouting. But female-owned distillery, she's like, let's just keep it right at 51%. We'll say our bourbon has manners, isn't necessarily super manly, where you're going to sprout hair. Although we're all sprouting hair, because it is kind of potent. Now the other 49% is usually a secret, proprietary, especially to bourbons. But ours is right on a label, and we are one of the only, I have been told,
Very much, Jack Dempsey.
Thank you.